Good morning and welcome into DragRace Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
And I'm your co-host, Landon Shue.
Landon, this cold stuff is just kicking my rear end.
I understand.
I sound like I have a real radio announcer voice this morning. Good morning, everybody. But I don't. My voice is messed up from coughing. I have coughed enough. It's been terrible. But it's getting better.
I believe I picked mine up from the nephew.
Yep.
I shared a Gatorade with him Thursday. Woke up Friday with a cold.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Pour him some, in the dog bowl. No, don't do that. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have a dog. That's okay.
I can buy a dog bowl.
Here you go. Anyway, rain has come in, or is
coming in
on the way in.
We're going to be pushing it close to beat the rain.
Yeah, we've got a little project going and kept me from really.
I didn't keep you on the track. I fully offered you to keep going.
Well, I know, but I was going to repair the 55.
Uh-huh.
I bought the parts, and let me tell you,
that's half the fight, isn't it?
Yeah, parts have gone up.
Yeah.
I used to buy paper and rubber. They call it paper rubber sets. What it called it was all the gaskets for Power Glide.
Right.
It's the gaskets, the O-rings and all that kind of stuff, and bushings. I was buying packs of 10 of them, and they were $12, $15. I don't know. They were because it's been a few years. $78 is what and change is what they've gone up.
Now you told me about my motor mounts. You said that was about $17.
Uh-huh.
I got for the pair. I'm in. It's $80 for just the motor mounts.
Wow.
The transmission mount I got for $20.
The Anchor brand. A lot of our of course Napa has Anchor and and all this. They're very, very reasonable because like now I was buying like a '67 Chevrolet pickup truck mount. It was a rubber thing that bolted to the block or the metal part and had a rubber embossed. They had a place to put a bolt in, and that's what my mounts were in the 280Zs. They're $7 or $12. I mean, they're very, very reasonable.
Right.
So that's what I was thinking when I was talking about your.
Hey, your boat mount would look the best.
Guys, if you're doing an engine swap, inboard outboard boat mounts have got to be the neatest thing I've ever used. Mm-hmm. It's got a flat. It's got a flat mounting surface. It looks like a ball joint. It's hydraulic, and the stud to stick up is probably 3/4 of an inch. Is a large stud with nuts on it. You can raise the height or alter the height of the engine over an inch. Those things, and now it would be better if you could find some mounts that are aluminum. These things are cast iron, but hey, there's an extra pound. Who cares? It is so cool.
Right. It was probably the best ones I've seen you put on there.
Oh yeah.
And they look much better than motor plates, but if you need a motor plate, you need a motor plate.
Oh, I know it. But it was probably, I had forgotten about those things. That's on the 280Z.
Mm-hmm.
The 55, we run into the Gardell Performance 205, and we had an incident last night. We're going to talk about that. Had one of our guys tore his car up pretty bad. But I was doing this thing, and they kept complaining. I had a water leak and a transmission leak. Well, I come back to the pit. I let that thing sit there and idle. There's nothing under it. It can't have a leak. Well, I found my water leak. It was a loose fitting. I put some gaskets. Anyway, I got that taken care of. And I put the pressure tester on it, pumped it up. It leaks no water. I'm good. So
good.
I fired this thing up on jack stands. It's not leaking. Well, I got in and pulled it in low gear and got on trans brake and rolled up on the throttle. It's pouring fluid out of the front pump seal.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Especially when pressure goes up, and it should just be slung oil. That thing is heating. There's actually no oil pressure on the front pump seal.
Okay.
And I put a new converter in it a few months ago. Went up to PTC and had one built, and put it in. And I hope I have nicked the seal. So anyway, what you do, you pull it out. If the bushing comes out with it, there's some more stuff to go. But if not, if I can find a nick place on it, and then Landon, I got to trying to think, how many years old is that thing? 12?
I was 12, so I've been 13, almost 14 years old.
Well, it's a reed case power glide I bought from PTC, and it's lasted. You know, the when I broke my other transmission and we had to go buy this one, I was so depressed. Oh my gosh, I broke my transmission. Then I got to thinking how old it was. It was 14 years old. This is the third car it'd been in.
Mm-hmm.
So they thing lasts pretty well. You know, I've told you many times, my dad didn't like me racing at all. He thought it was a total waste of time and money, and it probably, you know. Probably, but I'm sure having fun.
Yeah, that's what matters.
But he says, them motors don't last on and on and on. I said, they don't? He said, oh, no. I said, you know, the motor in this car is 7 years old. He said, 7 years? Yeah, Daddy, we built them right, and, you know, unless something stupid goes wrong, they just keep on and on running.
I worked with a bracket racer who... He said he's only done oil changes, maybe spark plugs once in the past 14 years.
Yep. Ricky Pennington broke a crankshaft in their 64 Malibu. The engine had 2,700 runs on it. Because you know, they kept it fresh, but it broke a crankshaft at 2,700 runs. And they document, you know, every time it makes a pass. So it's
a big document.
I have got a logbook for the Corvette. You know that?
Really?
Yes, I do. I hadn't started filling it out yet, but anyway, I do have one. You know, considering the connecting rods in this thing, probably 50 to 75 passes you need to replace them. I've got to place an order. If I could get your debit card number before the day's up, yeah. I can order these connecting rods. They're only about $1,200. Hey, if you say it really fast, it's not that bad.
Only $1,200, right?
It's just, but wait, there's more.
No, hang on. I think the issue is you're not looking at it right. We'll just imagine the car is a small house.
Uh-huh.
And then $1,200 is really not a big deal.
I guess you're right. See, you know, I just replaced the air conditioner for $7,000.
Yeah, so you said $1,200. You're like, that's a pretty good deal.
What a bargain!
Yeah.
Also, for next year, we'll need a new set of tires. They're $1,150.
You gotta say that faster. I'm telling you.
If you say it fast, it's not that bad.
Yeah, gotta say it faster.
The maintenance on this thing is going to be upsetting. But I did find you a new car, 37 Chevrolet.
37. It'd be a 5-window.
Well, this one's Pro Mod car.
Oh, okay. That's even better. Yes.
It's got a Noonan Hemi in it.
Noonan Hemi, okay. I'm aware of them.
About 4,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
The maintenance,
reasonable.
The maintenance will go up.
Blower car?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blown Hemi. By the way, it will not be coming home with me anytime soon.
No time soon. All right.
Oh, no.
So you're just going to have it sent to my house. That way I can hold on to it for you.
Since I'm out of room at home, you know, boy, I appreciate that. I never
you said
thought
it wasn't
about
coming
that.
home with you. Didn't say it was going to come home with me.
How awesome you are!
Yeah. The first one, I need you to write my neighbor a check.
Oh, for that garage, we'd have a place.
Yeah.
We'd have a place to keep it.
You need to pay him 3 times
what it's worth,
face value. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I can put all more race cars up at your house then.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hang on, do we have enough room for that? I'm trying to imagine.
Well, they'd put us.
It's got room for 4 cars. Inside.
Hey, we'd have to buy another one.
Good point. We'll put a second floor in it.
New word, a mezzanine.
Mezzanine. That is a new word for me.
That is, you put a open second floor in with a just a guardrail. That way, all your
like a viewing platform.
Yeah, and you stack stuff up there. That's a mezzanine.
Yes.
New word. I thought, and now don't ask me to spell that, but mezzanine is the correct term.
There's a body guy. He does all the wide body Porsches in the world. He sells tickets to his mezzanine.
Oh yeah, watch him.
To watch him work. And that sounds kind of funny. From my understanding, he gets 300 tickets sold a day.
Wow.
And this is at his house.
Well, that's pretty
lives,
good.
He lives in downtown, somewhere in Japan, and he sells tickets. I think they're $25 a ticket, 300 a day.
Well, that'd be like Gip's place out in Bessemer. He had a little place at his house. People come by, play blues music.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be 500 people show up to Gip's place. Well, the city of Bessemer tried to shut him down. And he says, "You can't shut me down. I'm not a business. You can shut a business down,
Yeah,
but he's
absolutely.
not a business. These are just my friends."
Yeah, and this guy even takes where you can call and schedule him basically as like a showpiece. He will come to your shop where you can have you and all your buddies watch him work.
I don't even like anybody holding my light for me.
No, I don't either. No, he comes and cuts up Porsches and puts body panels on.
Oh,
He's the guy for it,
Huh.
apparently.
well, if I end up buying me a Porsche, I don't want it cut up. I want to ride around in it and look good.
Yeah.
You were the That's when I quit racing. I'm gonna sell all the race car stuff. When that happens, I'll sell all the race car stuff. I'm gonna buy me a Porsche, another one. This will be my.
You could probably sell it 280. We can get you like we can get you two 944s.
No, I want a GT3.
We can get you two 944s for the 280.
Here you want a 914.
Oh, yeah.
They had a VW bus motor in it. They were not fast.
They were not fast, but they're good looking.
And but they're a V8 conversion. They're very normal.
Mm-hmm. You can get the 928 motor, put the V8 in it.
No, you put a Chevrolet.
Oh.
There's an
Oh,
adapter.
yeah, you can do that too.
What they generally did is put 283s or 327s. A 302s, and the reason you do that, they don't have any torque because your transfer case would not hold up. So you put a motor that's high winding and no bottom end, it won't break the. You put a 350 or a 400 small block in it, it's got enough torque that the transfer case will not survive. But
so you want low torque, high winding. So we're going to put a rotary motor in it.
Well, just take all the stroke out of you take a 400 block and put a 3-inch stroke in it, and the stroke is what gives you all your torque.
Right.
The Corvette's got a 5.3-inch stroke. And I'm not sure what the bore is, 4,600.
That's actually I'm not gonna lie to you, that's much larger than I thought it was.
Yeah, and the 55 is 4,625 bore with a 4.5-inch stroke.
Yeah.
That makes 605 inches. Normally, it's so dang big that it would probably measure differently hot than it does cold.
Oh yes.
Anyway,
Probably be an eighth of an inch difference.
Eighth of an inch? It could be. It's 604 point, whatever the number is, but 605 is what it is. So anyway, there's we get to talking about this. I said the Gardell Performance 205 was at our little deal at last night. Stephen Overby took off in his 67 Camaro. The car drifted a wee bit to the right, took a hard hit right front, and it pancaked the car on the whole right side of the car. I think busted the fuel cell in the front. It was leaking fuel. The car's tore up pretty bad. Structurally, it's okay, but it's got a lot of the pretty part is in bad shape today. But Stephen is okay, thank goodness. He did not get hurt. Let me guess. You can't imagine who he is racing.
Was it Chris?
Number one guy, Chris.
What he was is he had put all the stress on beating Chris. Accidents happen.
And Stephen is over a second faster than Chris is, or close to a second faster. Ooh. But you still got to go down the track.
That's it.
Now Chris is going to go. He'll call us after a while and tell us about all that. William Hurley, Snack Lady and William. She should be able to listen. I think he got on the list now. I believe he's number 2. We had a low car count, so if you're not there, you cannot you cannot hold your spot. So anyway, I think Williams number 2. He made 3 nice passes last night. He's thrilled to death.
Absolutely.
So, one of the things we're going to talk about today is trailer maintenance and preparing your race trailer for
the season,
for using it.
Yeah. Well, not only the season.
Welcome back in to DragRace Central. Now let's do some real radio show stuff, guy, this morning. It is 6:20, September the 3rd. This is Saturday. We came in the studio. It was not raining, although
we're going to be racing back home to beat the rain.
Let me tell you, if we make a mistake, we will own up to it.
That's it. And
if we misspoke last week that the Southeast Bracket Series was going on at I-22. Oh, he's on it, but turns out it was this week, and it's rained out.
I blame excitement.
You were so excited?
Yeah.
Well, I have to admit it was you. It wasn't me.
It was me.
Anyway, that was but it was supposed to be tonight. It has been canceled, and they did get to race some last week. And there was rain all around, and it finally hit them. That was this time of year is not unusual. Although in the last part of this month, this is in September. It starts drying up September, October. You'll have to buy a drop of water.
Yeah, you have to pray for rain.
It's going to dry up. So that just know that's going to happen.
But don't worry. In about 4 or 5 months, we'll have a monsoon.
Oh, it's coming. Don't worry.
It's coming back.
And if you've been worried about how hot it's been, everybody's complaining about the hot, don't you worry. It's fixing to go away. Get up in the morning and have to scrape the windshield.
My work lost 3 fans in a week.
Uh-huh.
And our big industrial fans we use to cool off with, we lost 3 of them in a week.
Hey, won't you hook up the Porticool?
I'm thinking about it.
We'll okay it. We still have Napa's Porticool trailer at the house. It's had several birthdays there, and that's all right. We got room to keep it. Mark,
the trailer needs to be serviced at this point.
It probably needs tires because Mark told me to go ahead and have tires put on it. It wasn't much problem. Mark had it to Gardale Napa store, one of our buddies, and
can you go pick that up for free since it's their trailer?
Yes. Oh, they told me he'd just have tires put on it.
Yeah.
And we take it up to your work and demo it.
We're salespeople. We're making a sale call.
What it is, I mean, that's
that's how you make sales. You prove it's worth.
That's what that thing is for. You pull it out on location and plug it up, and it's 95-degree day. There's 64-degree air coming off this thing, there's no air conditioning involved. Chicken house technology. It is the neatest thing, and one of the concerns we had was, or customers have, it would say that thing's just going to put too much moisture in air. I said, it's already 99% humidity. How much water can you put in there?
Start raining, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have your own weather system.
Yeah, I get out of cars yesterday. My windows would fog. My glasses would fog.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the humidity's up there.
Man, but if it's hot, we'll put. But here you are with summertime's over. You've survived it now.
Oh yeah, my air conditioning. Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I get to a car to go for a drive, somebody's just like, "Well, I want to take your car." I was like, "You have air conditioning, don't you?" And they said, "Well, yeah." It's okay. So he's getting their car.
and nobody complains, huh?
No.
Uh-oh.
A friend of mine told me he said, "I've owned my car since last October. He still has not been in it yet." I think we went 2 miles in it.
Oh yeah.
And he was just like, "Why?" I was just like, "I don't have air conditioning."
Well,
you won't enjoy the ride as much as I do.
You could fix your air conditioning.
I could. $400.
And
I'm not that concerned about it.
Okay, now we get.
Look, if it was like $30, that'd be one thing. 400's a commitment to save for.
That's like having breakfast. Your chickens are involved in your breakfast, but your bacon, they're committed.
That's right. So yeah, that'll wipe out a month's worth of car part buying.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, we're gonna hold off on it. till I sell it, I guess. I don't know.
guess. Well, we'll scrounge up some parts and get that thing fixed. I'm sure.
Maybe next. I had told myself last summer
Uh-huh.
that we'll get it fixed by this next summer. Well, here we are this next summer, and I'm just like, maybe the next one.
Now, you remember, that's just like me. Remember, it's on the list. It just hadn't made it to the top of the list.
That's it.
Now, the air conditioner on Suburban, I had to fix it, and it got hot. I think I fixed it for $12. I don't know, whatever it was.
High-end stuff right here.
Anyway, had a filter stopped up on it, and anyway, that's anyway, I got her fixed and recharged and all that kind of stuff.
Well, if we can find somebody who can fix, who can repair compressors, I can pull the compressor off. It's on a separate belt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, you don't repair them. That thing is done in a factory. They split in the middle.
Uh-huh.
And those things will get to leaking in the middle, and they're not serviced in. Now, I bet Mark at Napa can send it to A1 Cardone, and they can repair that thing.
Yeah. That would probably have to be cheaper.
Because the physically the thing's all right. It's not broken or nothing, but they go in because the internals will be the same as the
It's
rest
not locked
of them.
up, just needs seals,
Yeah. I'll ask Mark about that.
Yeah.
How about that? So we pull it off and send it off, and
because the price of them skyrocketed a couple months ago.
And availability because of
that's
being a GTO,
hard
which is
problem.
actually a Holden. That's GM of Australia.
I want you to understand this. Ordering parts from Australia has been quite expensive for me.
Yeah. But let me say this: you are the one who wanted this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
I still
all
like
right
it.
now.
I was just making you aware.
Okay, I just want to make sure that
prices
you knew
are high.
it was on you.
Did I tell you how much a bumper cost?
A what?
A bumper.
No.
A front bumper for that car costs $700.
Well, make sure you don't tear your bumper up.
I know how to fiberglass.
It's rubber.
I know how to fiberglass.
Oh. Well, Tim, our buddy Tim, he used to fix those things, and it looks like he did rubber welding.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an old woodworking tool or a soldering iron, what it looks like. They put them things in place and actually weld them back together, and you had filler rod, the whole works.
Yeah.
Then you sand them and paint them, and they look good. But that's for another. Is yours cracked?
Yes. All of them crack.
Oh, okay.
The catfish mouth, whatever you want to call that grill in the bottom, apparently they're too wide on every single GTO they break there.
Okay.
I have something I'm going to look at to see if I can support it to keep it from happening again for the next break.
Okay.
But no, every one of them break.
Well, what you could do is
even the G8s they break too.
you could lay it face up, put some balls of wood in it, and put fiberglass rosin and screen in it, and that'd make it stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way, when you hit something, it'd break it all to pieces instead of just a nick.
Yeah.
Well, just make sure you don't hit anything. That'd be the.
Well, actually, it's not just broken there. It's split in the lower half.
Well, because it moved. Stop the movement. It'll make it a lot better.
Yeah.
These things they're mistreated at some point in their life a bunch.
No.
Yeah,
Not mine.
Yeah, well, it's bright yellow, which that suited you fine.
That it did.
It's a 6-speed that really, really suited you fine.
That's what sold me.
Remember, 941-1011 is our number. This area code 205. We're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back in to Drag Race Central. Landon, we need to talk about VP Fuels, and our VP guy is up at Bristol Motorsports Park for the World Foot Brake Challenge.
World Foot Brake Challenge, that's it. Located in Bristol.
Bristol, Tennessee. A lot of stuff going on in Bristol this weekend. Of course, the World Foot Brake Challenge. Jared Pennington and he, as a partner, they put this thing on. Been doing it for several years. We went up there one year and barbecued for the crew, and I think we fed. Was it 800? It was some kind of crazy number.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Everybody there came and got plenty of food. And I believe that's when Landon decided he was a real barbecue master. You were about, 14, 15?
About 14, yeah.
Yeah. he took over a grill, and this is, a Mac Daddy grill. You were slinging hash off that grill like mad. So we had a lot of fun. But that's going on, and Rick, our VP guy, is up. He and Rick and Ricky Pennington are up. They'll do good. It pays $15,000 each day. So if you need VP fuel, here's our guy. Go to talk about some of the places that sell the VP fuel in our area.
Locally, we have NVS Auto, DG Motorsports, Off-Road Connections, Gardendale Performance, and Dodge City Collision. And then we have several tracks, including Holiday Raceway, almost said beach.
Almost said beach.
Laster Mountain, Bayleton Dragway, and Capital City Motorsports Park.
Well, that's when you need fuel, make sure you get the right flavor. And I say flavor with kind of tongue in cheek, but even Rick has gotten where he says flavor because there's so many different. And don't taste this stuff.
Please, I'll feel bad.
Well, and I say this, in the '60s, the owner's manual of your car told you how to adjust the valves. And it come in the owner's manual of the car.
Yeah. Now
it tells you not to drink the fluid out of the battery. So, things have changed somewhat. I guess now people.
Now look, that comes from the old saying, just because it says that you can't doesn't mean you should.
I guess people in the '60s know you shouldn't drink battery fluid.
I guess.
So you didn't have to have instructions.
Y'all had things figured out back then, I guess.
I guess so. But anyway, VP Fuel, you get whatever flavor you want. They've actually some have been running some of the motorcycle. It's got nitromethane in it.
Okay.
You're talking about perking a car, an engine up. Of course, you got to be careful. Some of these chemicals are wicked.
Oh yeah.
Nitromethane. Let me give you some kind of idea of what kind of power it produces. Say if you have a top alcohol motor, they'll make 25 to say 3,000 horsepower. 10% nitro will give you 10% more power. 20% will give you 20% more power. If you put 100%, you double the power. Nitromethane is that wicked. It has its own oxygen. Of course, you have to. It's slow burning. You have to. They run like 70 degrees of ignition lead, or you'll set the timing, but it's ignition lead. It means 70 degrees before top dead center. This thing fires, and it takes that long for the mixture to get burning, producing power. And if you watch top fuel cars, they run down. They got 8-foot header flame coming out. It's because the nitromethane is not through burning. Speaking of that, the U.S. Nationals this week up in Indy that will be held on Monday. Mm-hmm. They've been going up since. They've had some of the stock and super stock classes going since Thursday, and then it's called the Big Go.
The Big Go.
The Big Go. Yep, and they'll be the finals will be on Monday, on Labor Day. So that's going to be a big one. I'm planning to go to an NHR event next year.
Okay.
I'd like to go to Gainesville. Gainesville and Virginia are the Carolinas is our closest one, and both of them are about 500 miles. Within a few, but about 500 miles away. But yeah. I think I like Florida better than I like the Carolinas.
Hey, now you haven't mentioned yet on here. You have a trip next week.
I do. Going to the Shades of the Past up in Pigeon Forge. Me and a friend, Rod Kinnemer, we're going up and check out all the nice hot rods. There'll be 5,000 plus hot rods in Pigeon Forge, and all of them cruising up down the road. Now, the most interesting thing about that, now there's hot rods everywhere, and if you will see the nicest car you've ever seen, and you look over there, and there's one just like it, even nicer, and then down the road there's 4 of them even nicer than the nice one you just saw that was nice.
You thought that one was nice, but really this one's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone you see is just incredible what these people have done with these cars. But we're going to take the RV up and stay in it at Creekside RV Park. We're going up on Friday morning. Got some stuff to do on Thursday. We just can't leave, so we're going up Friday morning and hang out. And the most amazing thing up there, the first time I went was with our old friend Glenn Arrington. Glenn has passed away now, but Glenn was my Sunday school teacher when I was a kid. Terry Ann, his oldest daughter, and me are the same age, so we've been friends. Her and her husband, we all been friends. But Glenn, me and Glenn went to Pigeon Forge. So we went over the hill. It's the Dixie Stampede and all. You go across it and you drop over the hill into Pigeon Forge. There was a row of folding chairs, and there were so many folding chairs. It was like, wait a minute, what am I looking at? Folding chairs from the top of that hill all the way into the National Forest, where you go in like you're going to go into, you go out of Pigeon Forge in the National Forest, the tunnel and all that. There were lawn chairs on the side of the road, lined up shoulder to shoulder.
Ooh.
This got to be 3 or 4 miles.
That's a fair amount of lawn chairs.
So I've got to ask. This made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, of course. You got to ask somebody.
But everybody gets there. You go and pick you a spot out and put your chairs in it. It saves your place. That way when you come to watch your cars tonight, you walk over and sit in your chairs.
Yeah, of course.
Landon, there were tens of thousands. I say 10. There were unbelievable amount of chairs on the side of the road. So me and Rodney, we've got our chairs set up. We are. He's got a small trailer we're going to hook behind the RV and haul our Jeep up there.
Yeah.
Our midget Jeep.
The little one.
You hadn't seen the receiver hitch I put on it. Oh, it was awesome.
I have, yes.
You did?
Yes.
With the basket that fits in it?
I haven't seen the basket on it, but I've seen the receiver hitch on it.
All right, I got the receiver hitch on and slide that baby in, and we'll have our cooler. And of course, Rodney's he has sailboat, and he's got us a flag to put on it. It says "Man Overboard." So,
man overboard.
This Jeep is so small. 2 grown men can ride in it, but you really gotta like each other. Not in that special way, but you gotta like each other because you're shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go up and we'll have transportation, and it's gonna be fun. And one thing, there's so many golf carts around now. This thing is really a conversation piece.
That was the thing about when we go to pro mod races. Talking to.
Was it in Montgomery? People.
We had millionaires come up talking to us about.
Yeah,
about like, hey, that's so cool. I want
and
that.
The race car, yeah, whatever. But check out the tow vehicle.
They're like, I got 2 of those. Well, just tell me about this. Yeah.
Yeah. We go up and park it and go up and sit in the stands, and people just stand and look at the thing. It looks just like a old military Jeep, only it's really small. Yeah. It's smaller than a golf cart. But it will pull the car. It's got a little 150cc motorcycle engine in it. It looks to be a knockoff of a Honda. But anyway, I got that thing up and operating, and of course, it's 4-wheel disc brakes, blinkers, horn, headlights, and the headlights. Landon, you got to strike a match to see if the lights are on.
Look, you got light bars down there. No, you do.
Yeah, with LEDs wouldn't take a whole lot, would it?
No.
Don't
need as much power.
I can put a headlight on that baby.
Yeah.
The one I got on the front of the 55, I've got it on the headlight switch. No, I'm sorry. I got it on the nitrous switch. You flick the nitrous on, the headlight comes on. It looks like a landing light off an airplane.
Landing light off an airplane.
Let me tell you, it lights up the world.
Yeah.
But I can see, kind of. Well, actually, I can see what I'm going to hit. Maybe that's it.
One of the brightest things I've personally ever had to deal with is those the spotlights they use on aircraft. Not aircraft, but the support vehicles for aircrafts. If you ever...
what's that?
The landing strip vehicle.
Uh-huh.
That guy has a spotlight on it.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be the brightest light I've ever
Well, these LEDs, These LETs are just amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And when you turn them on, it doesn't dim the rest of the lights because it doesn't use a lot of energy.
Oh no.
The one on the 55 is about, what is that thing, 2 feet wide?
About.
Yeah, a couple feet wide and two rows up. Man, coming back up the return on Laster Mountain, there's a zigzag in that thing, and the road is only, I think, 9 feet wide. Because you're in a car, you're sitting down in a hole you can't see. I can't see, and then you're in a car you can't see out of. And then try to come up that little zigzag, and these are not off-road vehicles at all.
No.
So you don't need to run off-road.
Yeah.
Because gas net, you're going to tear up something you really needed under it. So,
yeah.
Anyway, the headlight fixed that, and then you hear all the people complaining, man, I can't even see now. Yeah, but I can. And I was one I was worried about.
I can see the dark side of the moon from here.
Well, the people on the moon, the man in the moon, they can see us. What is that light down there?
Yeah, who's that guy?
Who's that? That's right. So anyway, that's
that's actually how. Not that I would ever do this, but that's how I've heard that people got caught street racing. Was pilots when they would fly in.
Oh, they're flashing with the lights.
Well, they'd see us,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they called into air traffic control and say,
Hey,
"Hey,
something's
there's
wrong."
a lot of cars over there."
Oh yes.
I would never do that.
I know it. All right, I hear music in the background. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. Welcome back in to DragRace Central. 6:48 this Saturday morning.
That's it.
What you got over there?
Hey, we got our friends out there at Ray's Drive Shafts. They does some fantastic work.
Hey, the giraffe's still in my area.
Is it? All right.
That's it.
I think I need to use it. If they can cut down that limb for me.
This is a contraption, and I guess contraption, tractor, fat-tired loader, swing arm deal with a great big old blade on the end of it that goes in trims the right-of-ways. It was in my yard. I thought, man, that's kind of cool. It actually was in my yard. He come down the road, come down the driveway. The driveway's about 500 feet long, and he come down there, clean up, and he turned around in the yard and out in the grass. Because I don't care. I like machines a lot better than I like grass anyway. But it is still in our area. It's got a telescoping boom, and the reason I say that, Ray at Ray's Drive Shafts actually builds the drive shafts for this thing.
Yeah, it's mostly drive shafts.
Yeah, it's got five. Now it's got 5 drive shafts in it, and they all telescopic. And I think Ray said a set of drive shafts for that thing was $5,500. And I've seen them,
So
and
they're not free. Got you.
Man, it goes, hey, these are pretty precision. But anyway, that's the industrial kind of stuff that Ray does. From that, freight trucks and all the way to race cars, and so any of your PTO shafts that you right in
Side by sides. Apparently, side by side like the razors and whatnot.
they really break a half
They'll
shaft.
snap some half shafts. Ray's does make them.
Yep,
Get you a beefy one made.
So give him a phone number and a location out there.
Give them a call down at 256-572-7485. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can go out and see him. Pick up your drive shaft after you've already ordered it. Can't pick it up before you order it. He is a hard-working talent. He's not magic.
That's right. If you need a drive shaft today, don't call today. You need to call a few days ahead.
That's right.
Get in line.
Go out and see him at 1417 Decatur Highway in Fultondale, Alabama, right next to, attached to Off-Road Connections.
That's it. Landon, I've got to tell a story on myself. Anybody that lives on the edge, occasionally you'll fall off. That's kind of the way it works. Years and years ago, Mother and Lamar, my stepdad, had gone on a big trip. They gone on a big trip, and my mother, both of them have passed now, but my mother called me and said, "Hey, I need you to take care of my plants. There's some ferns out there that she wanted taken care of because my grandmother had potted this fern for her, and my grandmother she could take a dead plant and bring it back to life. It'd be the prettiest thing. Now my mother could kill anything. So she making sure my grandmother made this thing, and mother kept it looking good. She said no, they were going to be gone about 3 months. So make sure you come get this fern and take care of it. Okay, Mom, I'll do that. You know, your mom asked you to do something. Yes is the only answer there is. Okay. So sure enough, a couple of days, the neat thing about watering plants, today is not that important, just the fact you get it done. So I went down there, and then I just loaded them in the truck and brought them home. So every now and then I go out there and spray them things, kept them wet. I mean, I'm a good son. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. Well, all this time elapsed, and the ferns look great. I've done a good job. I'm kind of proud of myself, So they came home from their trip. A day or two, I got a call. Mother said, "Why didn't you take care of my fern?" I said, "Mother, I've got your ferns. They look great." She said, "You got the plastic ones." I had brought home some plastic ferns.
Been watering
those things for about 3 months. They still look good though. So things happen to us. But fortunately, the fern it survived. I think it rained enough it didn't die. But I thought I was doing so good. But the ones I took care of, them babies were nice.
Yeah. They looked just as green as when she left.
They did. And I know I'm doing good. I guess that's when I didn't I didn't pay close enough attention.
Yeah.
Or the people who made the flowers.
They did such a good job. These are high quality fakes. That's all it could be.
Oh well.
Hyperrealism.
So a lot of you guys have been out doing stuff. I'm sure that kind of stuff hits y'all also.
Oh yes. That has.
I apologize. I'm coughing, hacking this morning. It's terrible. We talked about trailer maintenance. You come in picking up trailer, and I appreciate you saying borrow. The fact that you were going to bring it back and just getting it, it means I may have to find it.
See, now look, I want you to realize this. Every time I've asked for a tool, I said, "Hey, let me get that tool."
I guess I
said, "Get it,"
and then I
did not ever say I was going to bring it back.
That's when I had to find. I said, "Hey, isn't that mine?" "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you." I told you. Hey, wait a minute.
Now, hang on. In all fairness, we've traded here recently. You got that torque wrench that I've kept on to for several years.
Yeah.
You passed it down to me, and you're just like, "I need it back." You broke one or something.
Yeah, I broke up a couple of teeth off my other.
So I don't even have a torque wrench anymore.
What are you torquing?
Everything.
Oh, okay. Well, you know where it is.
Yeah. No, I was doing something the other day. I needed to torque it, something. And I was like, "Oh, okay. I got a high dollar torque wrench."
We need a 3/8 one, and we need an inch pound meter.
Yeah.
That's the other two things we need. Inch pound meter is awfully important sometimes.
Yes.
And a bolt stretch gauge is something else we could use.
Bolt stretch gauge, yeah.
Anyway, 941-1011 is our number.
Is a bolt stretch gauge? You buy those next to sky hooks
and muffler bearings.
Yeah.
No, it's actually a real thing.
Okay.
When you torque a bolt,
mm-hmm.
you're torquing it, and it stretches a certain amount. Now, some bolt ARP has a spec. You torque it to it stretches 3/1000 or 4/1000
mm-hmm.
or whatever the number is.
You're measuring the elasticity of the bolt.
Yes. Some bolts do that way. Some actually gives you a torque reading, and if you use ARP lubricant on the threads, you get a different reading than if you use oil or grease, and they give you the specs with oil and grease.
Huh.
And one of the things, somebody asks you what a bolt torques to, you do know that if you give them the correct answer, it's wrong.
Yeah, you must look it up.
You always look up torque specs, because you can make a mistake, but the book will never make one. That's just a little idea. But anyway, you borrowed the trailer. No, you got the trailer. Anyway.
I borrowed it.
You borrowed it because you did bring it back.
Uh-huh. It is currently in your front yard.
I guess it is.
And the answer to that was I didn't feel like backing it up, so I just dropped it there.
Didn't feel like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's been a long time since I've driven a trailer. Backing one up is going to take me about a half hour. And I was just like, it's already 8:30.
I know it was getting kind of late, but anyway, told him, since it had been a while since this thing had been out, pull it out and just make sure the air pressure is right, and just you're just checking everything. And I had hooked the battery up to the winch and got it charged up.
Yeah.
So anyway, you put some bedding on the front of it, so we may not be able to pull the winch. We're taking the gas mileage car up to his house. It's
For me to begin. I think I know what I'm going to do, by the way.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Going to buy a fuel cell.
Fuel mileage car, not gas mileage.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a fuel cell.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to pull the old tank out. And because we need new fuel lines anyways.
Okay.
I know the tank still got rust in it because I cleaned it last.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to pull the fuel cell to replace all the fuel system.
Okay. This is a 81 RX-7 with an Isuzu diesel engine in it. Our max mileage to date was 72 miles a gallon.
Highest measured. Yeah.
Yep. And that's not coasting down hills and drafting trucks. That's actually just riding down the road.
Now look, after I replaced all that turbo fittings, I want to say it picked up a lot.
Yeah, this just amazing. Now it was a 64 horse, 2 liter truck motor. Now we turboed and intercooled it. Now, hey, that thing a motor. You could race a Honda Accord that Mama was driving and didn't know you was beside her, and you could actually pull her.
Yeah, probably.
If she didn't know y'all was racing.
Oh yeah, I tell you, she couldn't have known.
It was 0 to 60 in about 15 minutes. Nah, it's a little faster than that.
Yeah.
But it would, it actually performed like a regular car with a turbo and intercooler. You could go up the hill before Highway 69 on the freeway, and it actually you keep it in high gear. When we first started, I'd be in second gear going up on the freeway. But anyway, I hear our 1 hour break coming up. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. It is, let's see, let me get you a real number, 7:03. If you had to be at work at 7 o'clock, you're a little bit late.
Tell them you didn't want to come in on Saturday anyways.
Yeah.
Tell them they're lucky you're here.
Just tell them you had a vision problem. I couldn't see myself coming in today was a problem.
That's it.
Oh,
Tell them there's a problem with their clock.
That's right. There's something wrong with it. I clocked in on time. You got a defective clock. I am not wrong.
That's it.
Think that's it. Many of you know one of our race friends around here, been around for a long time, Vernon Morgan. Vernon, a couple of years ago, he and his wife and the whole family moved to Idaho. And Vernon, good old guy, and anyway, he worked for Express Oil Change for a long time, and he had some health problems and ended up having to retire. But this week, Vernon had a bad heart attack. And you remember Vernon always had a bunch of cars, but he had a chop top Falcon, about a 64 Falcon. His chop top, small block, and he put injectors, and Vernon wasn't scared to try something. But anyway, and he is in intensive care out in Idaho. Our thoughts and prayers are out with him. And our buddy Rerun called me the other day and told me that happened. And maybe he'll get well. And Vernon called about, we talk about maybe once a month. I said, boy, when you going to come home? You got out there, if you need something done, you don't know anybody to do it. And around here, we know people who will do stuff.
That's it. That is a big issue when you move away from the areas you're familiar with.
Yeah, but anyway, I thought the prayers go with Vernon. Maybe he'll get feeling better, and as soon as he does, we're going to start harassing him again, because I don't care if you're sick or not. We don't care. You're one of our buddies, and we're going.
Got to get out of potato land.
What's that?
You said you got to get him out of potato land.
That's right. He said out there where he lives, the closest track was 5 hours away.
So he bought a bad house, I see.
Well, that's the wrong area for sure.
Yeah. He retired, but you don't have to live there.
Well, I guess so. His wife wanted to move, and he was He did. He was nice.
So you move, cities, communities, maybe counties if things are real
Streets.
tough.
Change streets.
And you don't move,
3/4
how
away.
far's Idaho?
Across the. You know what?
How far is Idaho? 11 hours?
No, 19 hours.
19 hours.
22 hours. Yeah.
Okay. You don't move a whole day's away from.
It's I don't know how far it is. It's probably 1,800 miles, something like that. It's Los Angeles is about 2,500. Yeah, it's you're not going to be there today, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Unless you're on a big old jet airplane. Texas has got test and tune going on today. Capital City has got a 550 and 650 race, and next weekend coming up.
Next weekend we got House of Smoke is coming up next weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's the holiday raceway. But next week at Capital City, we've got Outlaw Pro Mods, the last of the year.
The American Outlaw Series.
Yep. Is that what that is?
Yes.
Well, they'll be.
Is it the last?
Yeah, it is the last one. That's the thing I saw last night on the interwebs. Ben Stubbs had posted that. It was the last one of the year.
It sure is.
Wow. They had, was there 5 this year? Anyway, it's something like that. But anyway,
5.
there is. This is the last one of the year. Get an opportunity to see some pro mods around here. Last time the break at 16 cars was a 378, I think. I know they had a couple of races ago. Guy won a 353. That's almost scratching off.
Almost.
Pretty close to it. That'll be going on.
If he about a second faster, he'd really have something there.
Watching NHRA last weekend, somebody has posted a bounty. The first person to run 308th mile, and it's about $50,000. They told the company it might be more than it was a bunch of money.
Well, wait, we can do that as long as they give us like a 3-mile head start.
It'll be a roll race. It'll be running about 150 when we hit across the line.
No, we need to be running about 275.
Okay.
Hit about 308.
Because there was not a whole lot of time to accelerate.
No.
Those guys are running 290, 293 and 8th mile. 3-0s at 290. Yeah, 293.
Good.
Those numbers, I thought, wait a minute, what am I saying? But it is that fast.
It is that fast.
If you want to see what fast looks like, look on YouTube, fastest quarter-mile pass. It's a rocket car. He went a 320 at 405. 322 at 405. He said, I can go faster, but I'm afraid I can't stop.
That's a real concern.
That was in the mid-80s, 405 miles an hour. The first time he went fast, he went a 358, I think. And then to come back and reset it, went 320. Now, a rocket car, unlike a jet car, they pop and all this kind of stuff. Rocket car, when you light the fire, it runs till it runs out of fuel. You just hang on.
Yeah.
So you have to do the math pretty close. You need it to shut off. If you run a quarter mile, you need to shut off about 1,000 feet that way. Anyway, so but watch it is available on YouTube. I've watched it several times, and it looks like somebody has taken a video and run it in fast forward. That's how fast that car is going.
Yeah, I'd have to totally agree with you.
Anyway, that pro mods are going on at Capital City next weekend. You're going to get to see some real fast cars. And we've talked about before the cars are awesome, but the trucks and trailers, ooh, there's some nice rigs show up. I'm still talking about the bog line. The bog line is so awesome.
It's a good idea.
You take off at bogs, you back up and get to do it again. As long as you don't cross the bog line.
Right.
I think that might be the new name for the car, the bog line.
I hadn't heard it bog once. I'll be honest with you.
No, it don't bog. But we don't have to use it. The fact that we have it available is the important part.
Was it like the 60-foot mark? Or?
I don't know. I've never seen a bog line before. There's a lot of stripes on the starting line.
That there is.
There used to be a blue line,
Okay.
and they've kind of done away with it. Blue line was after crew chief, line the car up, do everything. You had to come back and stand by. Everybody had to stand behind the blue line before a car could take off.
That's better. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much has gone away. I don't see that anymore.
I've seen a lot of guys who will stand just in front of where a car will take off.
Oh, yeah.
So not quite the tree, but just off to the side. That is a good way to have something hit you.
How about this? Wasn't many years ago, line locks, wasn't any line lock. We were in the infancy of drag racing. You do a burnout, your buddies would hold the fenders of the car. There were some of them that had grabbed hold of the inner fender, put their hand around the lip. If the car gets loose, it's going to tear some fingers up.
Yeah.
Now, NHRA come up with the rule: the car cannot be touched while it's doing a burnout. You get everything, and you have to move out of the way for it to do a burnout. Also, you cannot crank a car in the pits at NHRA without somebody sitting in the driver's seat. Usually, people crank them up, put them on jack stands, crank them up, and do their thing. But somebody has to be sitting in the car.
Okay.
So that is a rule. Bayleton has got a
BOGO.
What'd you call that thing?
It's called something.
BOGO.
BOGO. It was the B-Town BOGO. I told you the B-Town Boogie sounded even better.
B-Town BOGO. There's a bracket race going on up at Bayleton.
Pays $5,000 to win.
Ooh. Oh, I wonder if we call them and they just go ahead and send us the money.
Say, hey, look, we're coming. So you might as well go and write us a check out in our name.
Yeah.
When we get there, we'll come get the check. That way I can go have it cashed on the way.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, and that way by the time we leave, we'll have all the money ready.
Well, we leave there, we go to I-22 and win down there also.
Yes.
I don't think it works that way. But they're not playing by our rules, you know that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You can either do it our way or you can do it wrong.
You see it my way or be wrong, it doesn't matter. Drag Week has been going on all week.
There it is.
I've been watching a lot of the live feed or the feeds from Drag Week. Tom Bailey in the car called Sick. It's Sick Week. He puts on one down in Florida, but went 605 at 244 miles an hour. Drove his car over 1,000 miles because they put four pistons in it. They had this injectors go bad, was leaning cylinders out, and it would detonate and
burn a piston.
No, it collapsed a piston onto the ring.
Nice.
So it ended up being injectors causing a problem. They weren't having real failures. Nothing broke.
Yeah.
The transmission broke before they, when they got there, they had to pull it out. It was from wherever they were. It was 8 hours. The place where builds the M&M transmissions, 8.5 hours. They sent somebody. They had it built and drove it back, and they went through tech with no transmission in the car. So they got it back and put it back together, and they went through tech, and that's when they went on the first day 6.0s. So they're flying. They had lots of problems. They're riding along. Trailer fell off. It didn't come uncoupled. The tongue broke. So people were waving all this. We waved back. We'd have lost our trailer. During Drag Week, you cannot be towed by a wrecker. It disqualifies you. But there's nowhere in the rules say you can't use a wrecker to haul your trailer. So you had to take it somewhere and have it welded back together where they could make the call. But anyway, Tom Bailey ended up winning overall with a 6-second pass every day in Drag Week.
Consistency.
And drove
drove over 1,000 miles with a car. In 8th mile, 409 at 178 is what he had. One of them.
I was about to say, a 6.0 and an eighth isn't impressive.
In the quarter, it is.
And the quarter, that's extremely strong.
Yeah, he went 4.0s. 4.0s at I think it was 178 is what the number I heard. But yes, nice, pretty nice, fast pro mod car.
Yeah.
And he's fixing to leave and driving that thing 1,000 miles.
You want to drive the Corvette, do the same thing?
No. It spooks me driving it to the staging lanes.
That is what he did.
It is. It's the same quality car. No air conditioning.
I don't do that anyways.
One of them door fell off. The outer skin come off.
That's
well,
normal.
I hear music in the background. We're gonna go out and take our a quarter-hour break. We'll be right back on DragRace Central. Welcome back into DragRace Central, 7:20 on this beautiful Saturday morning. You know, we got here this morning, and I looked back over to the east, and you can see the sun coming up over the horizon. There was a slight crescent moon. Beautiful out this morning.
What I saw was the La Land of Dreams, and then you said, "Hey man, he's already here." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm getting out of the car."
Were you checking for checking for leaks in your eyelids?
That's it. Checking for holes.
It is absolutely. I can see outside. It's absolutely beautiful. It's gonna be a great day. The temperatures have backed off just a little bit. I think it's gonna be in that in the low 80s today, or in the 80s. It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be nice.
Thursday, I think it was 97.
It could have been 1,000. I'd believe you. I was out there.
Oh, I know it. And then cooled off. Fall started at 5 o'clock Thursday afternoon. I think is what the number was. Anyway, but we are officially in the fall season. We've got
the season.
Hey, you know what season we got? You've got a birthday next weekend.
Next week. No, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks?
Monday.
Well, a week from Monday.
Uh-huh.
Man, you're getting old.
I know.
You know, I told you you're catching me.
26.
Golly. Yeah, you're catching me. When you first come along, I was hundreds of times older than you. I'm less than 3 times older than you now.
Actually, when I was first born, you were tens of thousands times older.
See,
than me.
You're catching me. I'm less than 3 times older than you are now.
Yeah.
So mathematically,
you're almost twice my age now.
I'm over twice your age.
I said you're just barely though.
Yep. Well, see, it's getting better.
About 2/3, yeah.
Yeah, in another 8 or 10 years, you'll caught up with me. We can buy adult diapers on the same aisle.
I don't know about that.
Oh, maybe not. A lot of racing going on today. I think this is the weekend in Ashley Furniture tonight. The cruise in at Ashley Furniture.
It's the fourth Saturday.
This will be it, wouldn't it?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, it's coming. If it's not this week, it'll be next week. There's always a big cruise in. If it is, I know the Livelies are already packed up. They'll have their spot. Oh, it was devastating last month. Somebody got there before they had to move an aisle. It was awful. I think they ought to be. They've been there so long. They need to be able to
just go
tell somebody to move.
Go in there with a rattle can. Print you off a stencil, and put a reserve parking sign on there.
Or crime scene. Put crime scene tape.
Crime scene tape. No, people move that. I have genuinely seen somebody walk over a crime scene.
Huh.
They don't look at that stuff.
Well,
reserve parking, towed at owner's expense. Somebody's going to move.
Huh. Well, okay, but anyway, I'm sure they'll be getting ready to go to the cruise in. They always have some nice display and some good tents to sit under, and a lot of people there. So that's a neat thing that they do. I-22's got a foot brake, a pro foot brake and junior dragster race today. The Baylorton BOGO B-Town BOGO.
B-Town BOGO. I'm telling you, the B-Town Boogie would be even better.
All right, so they've got a race going on up there. The Mountain, it's got the Harley race, and tomorrow they'll be open for test and tune, and we're having our 205 race up there tomorrow.
The 205.
Yep, Gardale Performance 205. Come up and hang out with us, and it's this is pretty low keyed, and last month Stephen Overby's car got loose from him, and he popped the wall, and the car got torn up pretty bad. Took a lick on the right front, and when it hit the right front, it slapped the rear end in. It moved the whole trunk assembly.
Ooh.
Got the right quarter panel, and when it hit it so hard, it pushed the left side out. So he's going to have 2 quarter panels on it. He is well on the way to having it fixed. It'd been to the front subframe. He put a porta power on it and got it back straight and square.
He must be attached to the car.
He is. Mark Murphy is going to put it back together for him. He's already got his rear end. He had a 12 bolt in it. He's done away with that and put a 9-inch because that's an upgrade. So Mark Murphy is going to do the rest of the chassis for him, get it all straight and square. And anyway, that's coming up, and he is got to get it rolling. And then when Mark calls and tell him, he'll take his car over and get it straightened out. But all that is coming up tomorrow. The Gardale Performance 205. Our buddy Chris has been
defending his title.
The Fultondal Flash, or I call him Fultondal Flasher. Fultondal Flash has been on top for 3 or 4.
The fastest man to finish.
Yep. Been on the top for 3 or 4 races, and I don't think he's been outrun this year. There's been some breakage, and there's been some mess ups and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Chris has been the man.
He's the guy.
Yep. So I don't know if we have any more after this, but anyway, tomorrow and gates open 12 o'clock. We'll start.
I look forward to seeing you. So you're roughly in what, 9th place?
5th.
5th.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got like 4 guys that are outrun.
Well, with this new setup, yeah.
Let's see if we can get you a 3-way going. Where no, it's a 4-way. That's what I was thinking of. A 4-way race. You just take out all 3 of them at the same time, and you just got you down with your final round with Chris.
I got a plan. What we're going to do is put 2 cars on the line ready to race. I'm going to be behind one of the cars.
Yeah.
They
and you're
take
gonna come
off,
around them,
and I'll just pass them, and yeah.
No, see, look, I was thinking you get 2 guys down on the track, and you race it on the return road.
No, the stopping room is not good, and you get that zigzag.
It's got the same amount of stopping room, doesn't it?
Well, that zigzag.
It goes all the way to the end.
You can.
The zigzag, yeah, you're going to have to clear a gap.
Yes. That zigzag on return road, and the return road is 10 feet wide, maybe. You got to pay attention.
Apex.
Yeah. Apex, cut the apex.
Cut the apex.
Ooh.
That's it.
In a car that these things don't turn very well. Certainly not at speed. So I'll get that thing, get that wire fixed today and get her fired up and fluid in it and see what kind of further issues I have. But I know some things are not going to be an issue, like my U-joint. Got that thing from up there at Ray's and Ray's drive shafts, and that's not going to be a problem.
Donna said they are number 2.
Oh, number 2. Well, being a birthday girl, we're going to give her a little slack. Donna, happy 39th birthday.
I thought you said you were going to give her some slack. Make her sound old.
35.
There you go.
Donna's kids are older than that. Me and Donna are the same age. She can't hide her youth.
Her youth.
It's like I'm in trouble now. She gonna give me a hard time when she sees me. I don't care. I still love you.
That's it.
Anyway, it is her birthday today, and Donna Hurley, her real name. Who cares about Donna? Snack Lady is her real name.
No, McDonald's snack.
I'm sure that's not her mother given name, but that's what we're gonna call her, Snack Lady. Her and William they are number 2. That's good.
You know what that means?
What?
You still don't get a crown.
I guess it is. All right, we're going to go out and take a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back to Drag Race Central. It is 7:33 on this beautiful morning. How about let's go out to a caller? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Randall.
Good morning there, Mr. Chris.
How's it going?
Hey, you know what? If it was any better up here, I'd have to be you.
There you go.
That's it. Well, is the Flash ready to go for tomorrow?
Man, we done some upgrade to it. I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but all I can say is, Randall, bring the trophy. I need to go ahead and better yet, I'll meet up with you later on today. Have that trophy ready.
Oh, just go ahead and get it ready. Landon and I were talking about it.
No, you gotta just bring it to me today. Just tomorrow, it's not gonna be worth anybody's time to show up. I'm just gonna annihilate everybody.
Well, it's kind of like those. Pay $5,000 to win a bracket race. You just go and send me the money, and save everybody a lot of trouble.
That's right.
It really don't work that way.
Anybody else, having to put all their motor through all this trouble when I can easily just save you the trouble and I'll stay home and just hand me the trophy because I'm going to win it.
I guess you're right. Chris, I have made a trophy. You put an aluminum rod in one of my big pistons. I had a burnt piston out of the 712 motor and aluminum rods. I put that in some polyurethane. I've got a clock that goes in the big end. It's just real neat. The problem is the polyurethane has never cured.
Well, put a torch to it, see if a little heat will get it. Heat motivates a lot of things.
I hope so. I've set it outside. But it's been together for 5 months. It's still. Landon said we need to put some more hardener. No, I've already done that. I'm out of hardener. So I got a real malfunction.
Well, hopefully tomorrow we pull it off. I see some rain looks like coming in our area first thing tomorrow, so hopefully that doesn't affect us any. If not, maybe we'll reschedule it.
I hope so.
Is your car ready? I heard you talking about a transmission, trans brake solenoid, kind of giving you a little bit of issue.
Well, it almost fell off the jack, and I pulled the ground wire off of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll solder back on. That's not a big deal. I'm assuming it will. And I think I've got a spare one around there somewhere. I just can't remember where it was.
Exactly. You usually got spare parts everywhere. Two of everything.
You need spare parts. And everybody know parts is parts, pieces parts, everything.
Exactly.
I may have messed up. I took the 10-inch converter out and put an 8-inch in it. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm assuming it'll leave a lot harder.
Well, I was going to say we ran an 8-inch converter originally behind our big motor, and I think other than it kind of killed the miles an hour a little bit, but as far as 60-footing, the car actually ran better with an 8-inch converter, especially on the 60-foot side, and it didn't hurt it, even foot braking it. I mean, even if you just kind of foot braked it and laid into it, it still would run fast. So you kind of give up one for the other. We went to a bigger converter, now a 9.5, and at miles an hour, it gave up a little bit off the line, but a mile an hour now. But when we had the big motor in it, but it was actually quicker with the 8-inch converter in it.
Of course, I know that with the 8 inches, I'm not going to be able to use nitrous on it. I know that. But my biggest concern is letting go of the trans brake and hit the rev limiter before it moves.
I don't think you're going to have a problem. I think you'll, hit it up, where the converter is up there against the stall. You should be fine. Again, we actually had a good time with our 8-inch converter, and it was not a bad move running it.
Yeah, no, this is
that was all we had.
This is a big small block with a whole bunch of nitrous. So, hey, you don't know till you try it. It didn't cost anything to try. It's kind of aggravating laying under it, but, it's not that big a deal.
Well, you know, who knows what? You know, maybe just coming down between me and you running for the trophy there, since Steven's having a hard time getting his car together. Don't feel he's going to be ready.
No, Steven won't be there. No, his car won't be there. He's still in a million pieces.
Yeah. I feel for him. That was hard to see that happen to his cars. You won't find any racer out there who goes and puts 110% into a car and racing trying to win than him for no more what we run for. And
that's right.
We never want to see anybody hurt their car, but that's part of it. But crashing one it just makes you sickening. It takes a beautiful car and let it get away from you. That's never good.
Yeah, well, thank goodness he wasn't hurt, and that's the important part.
Talking about me and you running here, you had my thoughts going when Landon said about running up the return road. Now, I like that idea, but I'm willing to call you out on racing up the return road. But let's run my ATV against your Jeep.
Ooh, no, that won't work.
Winner take all for $1.
Well, now if we're going for style points, hey, if we go style points, you hadn't got a chance. Me, I mean, the Jeep, I look like an elephant in the palm tree in that thing.
All right, well, I'm calling you out. So if anything else, we're going to run the Jeep against the ATV for $1. Winner take all. 2 out of 3.
All right. You gonna go with Burnt Valley rules?
What's that?
Well, hey, you didn't hear us talking about Burnt Valley? They had a bog line. You ever heard of a bog line?
Oh, I heard a little bit about that.
I
never heard of it until you said something about that.
I had never. Rick Pennington. I was talking to him yesterday, and he's talking about the bog line. So, what in the world are you talking about? He said, "You've never heard of that?" It's, good Lord, no, I've never heard of that. When you took off, if your car bogged, they let you back it up and do it again.
I tell you what, I think Winston County do when they run them all-out cars and pro mod cars back in the old days that Winston County will run what you run cars. But I seen this at Winston County when the light went green. If one red lighted, they would stop. It don't matter somewhere. They would stop right off as soon as they launched off the line. If one red lighted, they would back up, restage the cars again. And if the other car red lighted, or if one of them red lighted, they would stop again before they went down the track, back them back up until they both got off the line with a green light.
Wow.
I seen that, and that was the wildest thing I've ever seen. But real quick, on Laster Mountain on the Harley-Davidson, there's a group of guys who put that together, and they rent it out the track. There's a $600 win pot there, so anybody wants to show up with a Harley-Davidson who thinks they got a fast Harley-Davidson, show up, race. You know, I think the gates open at 2. They run all day and all night. They're going to just do a friendly get-together, but there's a $600 pot for the winner at the track. So all you got to do is show up and be the fastest one there. You collect $600.
Well, that sounds great. I didn't know exactly how that deal worked. You know, we used to have, when Tony Lee had the track, they'd have the International Drag Bike Association up there, and they have the Top Fuel Harleys, and it was early 80s.
Yeah, for it. It was a hoot back then, and Tony Lee was a promoter, and boy, he could promote that.
Mouth of the South, that was his name.
He was good at it.
Yep.
But the Harley-Davidson thing is it's a local group out of Hueytown who put that together and rented out the track. And they just wanted to have somewhere to go one day to have a get-together. It's a cruise-in, bike show, cruise-in, and a get-together, and then a race. So all of it together. The only rules is it's got to be a Harley-Davidson.
Huh. Well, more power to them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have a good time.
Yeah. I hope they do. And again, we want to get together. Hopefully, at the end of October is our No Prep King race going on at Steel.
Yes.
Hopefully, we can make that. I heard about the JJ's on drop. I didn't make it, but it turned out to be kind of what I thought. It's a lot of circus going on there.
Clown show and a half. But
And,
hey, everybody's having fun. I will say that.
Yeah.
It was not a bad crowd at all. There was no.
Right.
I mean, it was fine.
What I mean by this, there's a lot of stuff going on between the racing, and that's what JJ does. I imagine them arm drops are you there to have a good time, and racing is just part of the sideline of what they're doing. But I hope everybody who did go through it have a good time, and those hopefully next time around we'll be able to make it myself down there next time around.
Well, if it comes back, I'm taking something, because winning shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, you were saying that there was an older car. What was that? Something that didn't look it was very fast. But
The Fury, a '57 Plymouth Fury, gasser. He come driving in. It was a piso. I mean, it real. He made a couple of passes. Man, it's another pig until the race shows up. Yeah, that old car run.
Well, good.
I think somebody got hurt down there, and they had to airlift somebody out. And I didn't. I don't know all the facts behind it, but I do understand somebody did have to be airlifted out of there. And there was a young man up at I-22 last weekend. Junior dragster got away from him, and now he is home now, but he got hurt pretty bad.
That's what I heard. Never good, especially for somebody trying out in a junior dragster. That was the first thing I heard was some of these junior dragsters are going as fast as some of these bracket cars nowadays.
92 miles an hour is the fastest one I've ever seen.
And yeah, that's. I don't know if there's ever a point where they got to put a brake to it, but they're getting all this out of a one-cylinder.
A 19 cubic inch. It's 19 cubic inch Briggs & Stratton style motor.
How unbelievable they're getting out of that. But like all classes, there's got to be a point where we got to maybe slow them down just a little bit, or put a wall or tire size or something.
Well, biggest age limit. A 15-year-old can run 90 miles an hour in a junior dragster. A 7-year-old can't.
You're exactly right. Exactly right.
So, anyway.
He is recovering. You're right. I saw that. So he's back home. That's good.
Vernon is?
Do
you're talking about the young man. Okay.
Yeah. And if I'm mistaken, isn't Todd in the Alabama game going to be racing this weekend also?
I don't know. The one in the Carolinas got canceled. I don't know where they are this weekend.
Yeah, I was thinking I saw where one of the racers was going to a race that I was keeping up with. So I'm wondering if they've got a race this weekend. We might need to look into that.
Okay, we'll do that.
Todd called in, and we had a good long conversation when I was hosting on the radio a couple of weeks ago. And man, my hat's off to him. So Todd, if you're listening, I appreciate you when you called in the other day, and that was a good conversation we had about the gassers and traction and pavement and all that. That was really good.
Neat. Well, Chris, we're going to get off here, and there's going to be some music coming up here pretty dang quick. We can go out for our last break of the day.
I'm number one.
That's better than being number two, I guess. All right, bud. We'll see you up here tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.
That's our buddy Chris Rogers, and we'll be up there kicking butt and taking names.
That's it.
How about that? All right, we're going to take our last break of the day. We'll be right back on DragRace Central.
Seems like yesterday.
Welcome back into DragRace Central. It's 7:50. We got a short segment. It's 10 minutes till this mess goes away. How about that?
That's it.
We've been
mess.
talking for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
We need to go over the events for today. The Harley race is going on up at Laster Mountain.
Hey, you know anybody who does any pinstriping? My Harley says Hayabusa on it for some reason. I want to get it fixed before I go up there. It's a Buell's, all it is.
And you can put your potato cam in it.
That's it.
It's just an oligo potato.
It'll put some speakers on it or something. I don't know.
Probably $600. All right, the streetcar takeover is going on at Steel today. we got a Holiday Raceway's got going on
bracket race.
A bracket race, pro foot brake and junior dragsters.
I-22 has pro foot brake junior dragsters.
Boylston, same. They got a BOGO.
Yep, 5,000 to win.
Yeah, it's a BOGO.
Yep. But it's not really a BOGO though.
It's not.
BOGO's buy one get one.
Well,
it's a race. You ain't buying anything.
Oh, okay.
Well, you might buy a few things, but
now,
but you ain't buying one getting one for free. I tell you that.
Oh, I guess you're right. Tomorrow up at Alaska Mountain, there will be Test and Tune along with the Gardendale Performance 205. We need to talk about some VP Fuel.
That's right. VP Racing Fuel has several locations located all across Alabama. Bayleston Dragway, Dodge City Motorsports Park, Dodge City Collisions, Capital City Motorsports Park, NVS Auto, DG Motorsports, Gardendale Performance, Laster Mountain Dragway, Holiday Raceway,
Off-Road Connection.
Off-Road Connections.
There's a lot of places.
There's a track I'm missing. Laster Mountain, Holiday. Yeah, it was Holiday. I was forgetting.
Okay. Baylorton and Capital City.
Yes.
Okay. So I believe we got all covered. Also, if you need your nitrous bottle fill, taken by Gardendale Performance, and Rick could come by and pick those things up and deliver them back there. And let me tell you, nitrous has gotten expensive. It's $12 a pound now.
It's pretty light stuff.
A pound is a pound.
Yeah, I agree. But a pound of nitrous oxide is a lot more than a pound of steel.
Really? Well, what weighs more?
The
a
same.
Pound of steel or a pound of nitrous?
The same. I'm talking about quantity wise.
Oh, volume. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. So usually with a cheater system, you're going to get 3 or 4 passes out of a bottle. Your fourth pass, you might be some problems. A lot of your teams replace a bottle every pass. But in Redneck World, which I have been in for so dang long,
you got 7 bottles and they've lasted you 12 years.
I got 10.
Yeah,
I think
you got 7 full ones, don't you?
Okay, yeah, I got plenty of them. But there's you get say 3. You're gonna get 3 good passes out of a bottle.
Right.
That is 10 pounds, $120. Ooh. Some of the guys they got the trash can solenoids, which these things are about 3 inches across the top. They'll burn 6 pounds in one pass.
How much did you pay back at Sipco?
Huh? Seco.
Way back when they were open.
It was probably fill the bottles. I don't know. No, Seco did not fill bottles. We had to go to a post, or we had.
We had a bottle filled there twice or 3 times.
Oh, you did, right? Later, Jimbo would do it. Yeah, it was a couple of dollars a pound.
Okay,
I think $2. And it got where I had gotten a mother bottle. A mother bottle has 64 pounds in it. It was $65. What a bargain!
Things tough all over.
Yep, you was running a bunch of nitrous.
That cost you a clean 1,000 now. Take out 2 mortgages.
Golly, it's expensive. So anyway, that's coming up. But anyway, if you need your nitrous bottle, go out to Gardendale Performance, leave it, and Rick could come by and pick it up. Do not use a torch on your bottle. It changes the metal, and these things will blow up. And you're talking about ruining your whole day.
Yeah.
It will ruin your whole day when them things explode.
Grab a jacket from the house if you got to warm it up.
There's bottle warmers.
You grab a jacket. It'll help.
No, it won't. You got to have something produce heat. A jacket for a person reflects your heat and keeps you warm, but a bottle has no heat.
Yeah.
You have to apply some heat to it.
Cuddle your bottle on the way there.
Cuddle your bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like you know how people stick their drink between their legs and warm up the drink and makes your ice melt. That's what you do.
Oh. Or put it in the floorboard when you're driving to Orlando, and it'll be warm by the time you get there.
Yeah. Throw the heater on the way. It's a little chilly this morning.
Yeah, that'll work. I enjoyed doing the Orlando thing. That was always a lot of fun. I'd leave at 3 a.m. and I could, if I did right, I'd see my first Orlando sign at 1 p.m. And then you're still a ways away from the track, but Orlando, so many miles, that was the first time.
You know, you went a lot in the 90s.
Yes.
And I noticed you had 94, 95, 97, and 98 tags. It's like you missed something one year.
Your sister was born.
No.
No?
95 and then 97, so you missed 96.
Right.
That was about 26 years ago.
Yeah.
I was born.
You was born?
Yeah.
I knew there was something. Look, you realize.
And it's from September 30th till October 2nd.
You caused me to. So it was you caused me to miss an Orlando race.
That was it.
God, man. I knew there was some reason I didn't like you.
My sister was born in 88.
Oh, okay. I knew there was a reason I didn't like you for some reason, and that is it.
That's the one.
Oh, well. So I missed an Orlando race for you. Dang it, how about that?
To be fair, I wasn't born until the next day, so you couldn't have went. You just had to be back. So you can't blame me. It's called bad time management.
Ain't that the dang truth? Jake's got a test and tune. I'm trying to make sure Capital City's got a 550, 650 deal going on, and the Outlaw Pro Mods will be there next week. Thinking about going. I hadn't made my mind up yet, but thinking about going down there because we've got the No Prep Kings coming up and Moultrie, Georgia trips coming up. No Prep Kings will be October 21st, 2nd, and 3rd at Steele, and the Moultrie, Georgia swap meet is November 18th, 19th, and 20th. So I'm just about sure we'll fire the motorhome up and land it. I knocked my right mirror off the motorhome.
Right. You get that monoed up yet?
You talk about hard to drive without a mirror.
I believe you.
Even your passenger can't help you much. I bought Duramix. Duramix is a structural urethane, and I'll squirt it in the screw holes and go round and around, make a big block back there. That way you can drill and tap it, and the mirror will actually stay on.
Right.
Because I think the mirror staying on is a good thing.
I could see it.
Well, buddy, I hear. I can't believe you made me miss Orlando one year. Dang, man. But I was nice.
You haven't been since '98, as long as you know that.
But it went away.
Yeah.
No, I did. When I sold that Mustang to a guy in Tampa, I went. There was nobody there, and I came back by Valdosta. Anyway, we got music in the background, and we've enjoyed it again. Remember, replay tonight, 9 to 11, and the older I get, the faster I used to be. See y'all next week on Drag Race Central.